Hi, my name is Larry Poncho Brown. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I've been a professional artist now for 23 years. I've been a full-time artist for 23. I said 23 years? I meant to say 32 years. I'm inverting my numbers. I started my first business when I was about 17 years old as a sign writer. Eventually, I went to the Maryland Institute College of Art, where I studied graphic design and photography. And ultimately, I became a graphic designer, and then he morphed into an illustrator, probably in the early 80s. And somewhere towards the latter part of the 80s, I started to investigate publishing, and I kind of fell into doing my fine artwork. I'm inspired really by my dad. I'm a second-generation artist. My dad gave up his art career really to have me. He was a teenage parent. And so I feel very honored that I got a chance to make him proud. He passed away last January. But at the same time, he got a chance to, as he retired from his transition into printing, he became a printing teacher because he really couldn't make a living as an artist. So he got out of art for almost 28 years. And during those 28 years, I became pretty well known in my sector as an artist. I really find that to be an important part of my life, an important background of my life. He is my inspiration. But along the way, I've met so many positive, wonderful artists that have been an inspiration too. And they become my best friends as I used to aspire to meet and know people like Charles Bibbs and Paul Goodnight, but nowadays they're my colleagues. We do shows together, we do projects together. So we have a wonderful family of artists, and we're much closer than people ever give us credit for being. So as far as inspirations go, I have another person who inspired me. That was my high school teacher, who really was he kept me off the streets, because art saved my life several times. Most of my friends were drug dealers, were running the streets, and I always managed to kind of get involved in my art. He realized I had one foot in the street and one foot in the classroom, so he really took the time to really show me that this could be a career option for me. So between those two things, my dad and my high school teacher, Chanel Alford, and they were very prominent black men that were my inspiration. But I would tell anybody that's interested in the arts now that I see a trend happening where too many artists now are relying on technology, and they're not taking the time out to do that old adage, practice, practice, practice. And all I can tell you is to just work, work, work. The Creator gave artists this ability as a form of therapy, and people might laugh and giggle. We communicate different than other people, not better or worse, but different. So if you understand what it's for, and you use it for what it is, and you find a way to somehow market it, then everything you ever want in your life will come to you. And I've been blessed that I've enjoyed my art every day of my life. I got my first position as a sign writer at the age of 14. You know, I paid my way through college painting signs. You know, so nobody can tell me that a city boy from Baltimore can make it as a full-time artist. If I can make it as a full-time artist, anybody can. And by the way, I haven't talked about talent yet, because I don't believe that's the deciding factor in your success. I think it is a factor somewhere down the line, but your drive, your passion, and your commitment to do this is what will secure your future. And so we're in a wonderful time right now with technology, where you can do so many things that I could not do. I came through school at a weird time when a lot of things weren't here yet. Like I went through graphic design at the Maryland Institute, and they didn't have any graphic design classes. Macintosh wasn't around yet. So I do all that stuff by hand. That's why now I can look at things and I can probably dissect it a little different than some artists could, because I'm actually a little old enough to understand how that process went prior to the Macintosh computer. But right now you can do anything. If you're a songwriter, you can relay tracks, you can get to a studio, you can do all this stuff. Before, you had to go through so much painstaking time and money to try to position yourself to even come up with a prototype. It's a whole different ball game now. And when I came through, there was no social networking. You had to do word of mouth, you had to do mailing lists, and now there's social networking, and there's YouTube, and there's this and there's that. It completely changes you from a regional artist to a global artist. So if you utilize all those skills together, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be successful doing whatever it is, whether it be art, music, dance, writing. It's just a totally different time. So I advise any of the youngsters, just use what's available to you. I got kids right now that got a computer at home. They don't have a business card. They don't have stationery. They don't have a website up. Basic stuff. And until you learn the marketing part of it, you're going to be at a slight disadvantage. But the tools are available to you. Just use it. So stay creative and use what's available to you.